next guest is a true believer that following your dream at any age is possible. And because Patricia Falvey took a chance and pursued an unpredictable lead, her life forever changed. And she is here now to share her story with us. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here.
You have a very interesting story that kind of, because you followed a thread in your life. Explain what you mean by that.
Well, I suppose you could say I followed many threads. I'm an immigrant. I came to the United States when I was 20. I'd lived in Ireland and England, and I'd always wanted to be a writer. And so I enrolled in school as an English major, and but it turned out that the economy wasn't good. I really didn't have any contacts here, didn't know anybody, and all the people with the wisdom that I didn't have said be an accountant. So I gave in, and I tell people that caused an abandonment of my dream that lasted 30 years.
As to work as an accountant?
Yes, because
people were telling you that's what you should
and
do.
you can get a job, and it's a good career for women, and all the rest of it.
I hear there was a chance meeting that happened. That
There was the thing
that opened your eyes to all of this.
So fast forward through my accounting career, which ended up very successful as a managing director at PricewaterhouseCoopers. But
wow.
The idea of writing never left me, and it was always nagging at me. And one night, I was in New York on a business trip, and I had been scheduled to have dinner with a colleague, and he canceled. So I went down to the bar because I'm Irish. That's kind of where you go. And
you got a bad day. You just strolled out to the bar.
Just strolled out to the bar, and this lady came and sat beside me because it was the only empty seat. And she ran an exercise studio in New York, and she kept saying, "Oh, it's too bad you don't live here." And I said, "No, I don't." So she said, "I know, we're having a get-together for a spa week in Jamaica next month, and you will come." And I'm like looking at her like,
I don't even know you. Yeah.
I don't even know you. Of course I'm not going to come. But there was a little voice that just told me,
go to Jamaica.
To go. And
That's
I
a good
ended
voice.
up, and I ended up going, and I got there, and she had made all these preparations, and I was supposed to be on a list, and all the rest of it. There was nothing, and I remember thinking, well, I dreamed this, but it looks like a nice place, so I guess I'll stay. So sure enough, the next day she came and found me and introduced me to the women that were part of that group, and out of that group there were 2 literary agents from New York.
Oh wow.
And it was just one of those moments where you said, you know, God, the thread did lead me to this.
And
if I hadn't done this. So it led me to one agent with whom I became pretty close. I met her a couple of months after that in New York to talk about writing, you know, because I just happened to mention that I loved writing in between figuring out the tax on the checks, you know, that sort of thing that accountants do. And so I met her, got to talking about this particular book, which was still in my head.
Which the Yellow House has, and the Linen Queen, both. Yellow House being one of a best-selling novel.
Yes, it is. That's been #1 on Kindle a couple of different times.
Wow, congratulations.
And, it's done very, very well.
Did you self-publish both books?
No. So I worked with my agent. She was very encouraging. It took about another 3 years because I was still working in my other job. Finally, got to the point where I said, it's now or never. If I don't take this chance now, I will never get this chance again.
And so you really, I think, are an advocate of following your dream at any...
Absolutely. And so I walked out, to a great deal of eye rolling, I have to say, walked out of my career, took the next 6 months, finished up the book, and within 2 months I had a 2-book contract from Hachette,
that is so
which is one of the major publishing houses.
What is your message to people who are sitting at home who have a dream that they haven't followed for whatever reason and it's still haunting them?
First of all, you're very lucky if you have a dream. You know what you want, and if you're very lucky to have it, don't ignore it. Because for me, when all those years when I wasn't doing it, I kind of felt like something was pulling me, and ever since I committed to becoming a writer and following my dream, even though it hasn't all been that easy, I have felt totally integrated and totally whole.
Like when the doors are opening easily like that, you feel like you truly are on the right path?
It was all lining up, and I know, I'm an accountant, I know what the odds are against getting published.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on all your success. And thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, you can get more details about Patricia Falvey's and her book on her website at patriciafalvey.com. And of course, you can find the books on Amazon. I'm assuming.
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and in bookstores
And Kindle.
near you.
Yes.
And Kindle.
Awesome.
Patricia,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank
That was a
you.
great message.
Thank
I know
you.
you inspired some folks at home with that.